All right, so I wanted to make another quick video talking about really talking about my, I guess, my framework, um yeah, and my mindset and what I'm pushing. And really what I'm pushing and what my brand is and what my goal is to push ownership, is to push being a creator, and it's to push being an intellectual. Um, because it's not enough of that. And really, the first thing is when you see my videos, when you hear me, when you come across my channel, I want one word, one thing to stick with you, and to know that that's what I represent is owner, being an owner. And so with this video, I just want to go into kind of what that means, kind of. And I'll have another video where I have slides and I'm breaking it down way more in detail, way nicer, way more professional. But I just wanted to make this video so I can start kicking out YouTube videos and trying to get in the algorithm, right? So I can start trying to get out videos and trying to get in the algorithm, and just get my message out there and what I'm pushing, just to get my face and stuff out there. I'm just trying to get started, and I'm just gonna keep pushing. And so yeah, really what I'm pushing is owner. And so the first thing is being an owner of your thoughts and escaping dogma. And dogma is following or accepting other people's thinking, other people's beliefs, and just going along with it. And we all do it. It's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, because we all do it. And so that's in terms of like the city you live in. You know, I live in Oklahoma, and so one of the things about Oklahoma is that everyone loves Brahms. Not everyone, but you know, most people. And so, or you know, we could say like OU Sports or the Oklahoma City Thunder. And so that's just us. This is a small example. I'm gonna get into better examples, but just thinking, you know, this is what everyone's thinking. This is what everybody's going with, but why? Is this actually the right thing? And so something better. At a better example I could use, say, is like even religion or politics. If you were always Christian, which is nothing wrong with, or if you were always Republican or Democrat, whichever you. All right, so my video got cut off, but basically you can see I'm sweating here, sitting in the car trying to talk to y'all. But basically what I was saying is that dogma, you can use it, say, basically for religion, politics, and so basically say, it's just to think about your beliefs, to think about your beliefs, to think about your thoughts and why you think them, and actually have critical thinking about them. Are these actually your thoughts? Are they actually your beliefs? Are they actually the correct beliefs that everyone should have? And by the time I'm getting through this, you're gonna basically see that having ownership of your thinking, of your thoughts, of your beliefs, having your own critical thinking, it'll lead you to a different life, basically. And so controlling your thoughts, your beliefs, having critical thinking about the stuff that you think about, analyzing all the thoughts you have, all the information you have, everything else that you see other people do, you'll start learning and picking up on things that other people just living day to day might not, even people that's very smart. Because dogma is not just about being smart, it's about self-reflection, it's about critical thinking. And so once you own your thoughts, you own your beliefs, you will start having different opinions and different beliefs and different thoughts. And once you start having your own beliefs and your own thoughts, that'll eventually lead you to having your own actions. That's very important to know. Having your own beliefs, thoughts, and thoughts will lead you to having your own actions based off your thoughts, because you are your thoughts, basically. And yeah, having ownership of your thinking and your thoughts will lead you to having ownership of your actions. And so when you're thinking for yourself and you're acting upon yourself outside of what everyone else is thinking and doing, that's ownership. It will lead you to different outcomes than from what everybody else is getting. And that's what you want. Trust me, that's what you want. And so once you have your own thoughts, your own actions, once you start thinking differently, and me specifically, I like focusing on money. I like money, I like investing, I like finance. And so for me, once I have my own thoughts, my own actions, those led me to getting more assets, right? And so I had ownership of my thoughts, I had ownership of my beliefs, and then I got ownership of my actions, which led me to get ownership of assets. And that's something people, people have assets, but not everybody has assets. And so I'm talking about real assets, assets that produce money. Not just, oh, I bought a car and I say this is my asset, or I bought a laptop and I just call it an asset. It's an asset if it makes you money, if it produces money. And if it's not producing money, making money, it's not an asset. Okay? And so having my own actions basically led me to having assets, acquiring assets, because I was just thinking differently. When I was 18, 19, 20, first getting into investing, nobody else in my family was investing. None of my friends, no one I knew had ever in my whole life, school or nothing, has ever talked to me 1 second about investing before. And so me doing it on my own, getting interested in it, having my own thoughts, I took my own actions, and it led me to have assets. And once I had those assets, once I had those assets, like I was saying, assets pay you, then you have ownership of your income. And you can get ownership of your income before you get assets. That's why it kind of tripped me up once I was saying this. And so you can start a business and have ownership of income, or you can buy assets and get some ownership over income, right? And that's what I did. And so you have your own thoughts, your own beliefs, you have your own actions, you have your own income, and with that income you can buy assets that you own. And with assets, once you have multiple assets, you can set those assets up and line them up in systems where they work one after another one. And once this one asset produces money, it automatically gets the income from that first asset, just the money you made, not even the principal of the initial investment, but any income that came from that first asset that it produces, it automatically feeds into another asset. And now you have two assets, an asset feeding an asset. This is what I'm talking about, systems that are growing and compounding. This is not stuff we talk about in school, owning your thoughts, owning your actions, owning your income, owning assets, setting them up into systems that you own and that you create that work efficiently and that help your life and that puts your life on a different trajectory, on a different path. Owning systems, owning assets, it'll eventually lead you to owning your life once you own income, assets. All right, my bad, y'all. I got cut off again. But like I was saying, owning income and owning assets will eventually lead you into owning your life. and owning your time back. Because those systems, those assets, and that income, and your old actions, and your old thoughts and beliefs will all work for you in the future and in the present. And so it compounds and it keeps working for you, and it grows over time. And so when you don't own your thoughts, your actions, your income, your assets, and the systems that you live by, you will not own your time. You will not own your life. Okay? You will not be able to experience compounding. You will not be able to experience ownership. And I'm telling you that it's something that I think a lot of people don't pay enough attention to and don't understand. And I just want to push ownership and being a creative and being an intellectual. And I'll get more into being a creative and intellectual in other videos. But really, being an owner, the word owner, that's really what I want my platform and my brand and what I stand for. That's what I'm pushing. That's what I really want my stuff to be about. Owner. Own your thoughts. Own your actions. Own your income. Own your assets. Own your systems. And you will own your life. And that's really what I want to leave y'all with, and let y'all know that's what I'm pushing. And so if you want to hear more, stuff like that, more of this kind of stuff, that's all I'm gonna be talking about. And so I'm gonna be getting into it from the thought point of view, the actions point of view, what kind of actions you can take to own your life, what kind of thoughts, what kind of critical thinking, and what kind of questions you should be asking yourself, so you can get to a space where you're escaping dogma, where you can talk about assets that I own, assets that you can own, systems that you can own, the systems that I set up, the life that I have, the kind of time that I have. I'm gonna share it all with y'all. We gonna talk about it. Y'all gonna see me on my journey as I go, because this is just the beginning. But this is really what I'm pushing, and I just wanted to make this like kind of introduction video. If you want to know more about what I'm pushing and what I'm about, and it's all about ownership. And so yeah, I'm gonna leave y'all with that. That's really it. All right. I just wanted to add this part in there too. And so basically, since that's what I'm pushing, in a lot of my videos, the next weeks, months, years, you'll hear a lot of the same things that I'm saying. I'll say them over and over and over. I'll say them in different ways, because it's always gonna go back to the core thing of being an owner. And so we're just gonna be revolving around those topics, around that stuff, and so you're gonna hear me talk about being an owner non-stop. That's what the channel's about. That's what we talking about. I mean, I'm gonna focus on like finance and investing, because that's what I like. Crypto, stocks specifically, when I say investing, not real estate, not bonds. But I will speak about them. I will talk about them. I like real estate. So yeah, I like real estate and bonds, and so I'll talk about them. But yeah, specifically, we're gonna be focusing on investing, crypto, stocks, stuff like that. And yeah, being an owner. And yeah, that's really it. We're gonna be chilling, having fun, talking about being an owner. I got a lot of plans for the channel, a lot of plans. We're gonna meet and interview a lot of people, different kind of owners, because the stuff I'm into might not be what you into. And so we'll be bringing all kind of owners on the channel, and we'll be chopping it up and talking to them and giving you guys a lot of value, always value, game, and yeah, just having a good time, learning, having fun, meeting people, networking. But we got a lot more, a lot of content, a lot of stuff that's gonna be coming to the channel. I just want y'all to be ready, be expecting it, and yeah, stick with me, cause yeah, it's gonna be a ride.